I'm Susan. Welcome to Tea and Games. More specifically, Christmas games. I didn't think I was going to get to do this video, and I may still not. Our neighbors are doing construction, and I was trying to do this before the power tools and the hammering started, and I might not have made it. So I apologize for any background noise. If it gets too bad, I'll just stop the video and we won't do this. Anyhow, I did want to talk about Christmas games just a little bit before Christmas because we've gotten some new ones and they are good. First of all, right up here at the top of the video, I want to give a special shout out to Jen and Jayne of Spiel Mill because they are the reason why we have some of these Christmas games. We just kind of fell into a flinging games across the country at each other's thing here near the end of the year. And a couple of the things they flung at us is ugly Christmas sweaters, which I know y'all are going like, oh wow, that's out of print. Not anymore. Portland Game Collective, Cooperative, Collective, Portland Game, anyhow, it's back in print. Small publisher is distributing it and putting it back into print here. So it is now still available. I looked on the box and I couldn't find the Portland thing on there to tell me so that I could get the name right. Oh, duh. And the other one they sent me that is Christmas themed. Actually, there's a couple of honorable mentions from Jen and Jayne. The other one they sent me that's Christmas thing is a new game called Spirits of Christmas. This is a fun little co-op game, and somebody put this in comments if you know of any other Christmas or holiday themed co-op game, because right off the top of my head, this is the only one I can think of, and maybe the only one, if there are others, the only one that's in print, for all I know. But what you do is you are going through the story of A Christmas Carol, and you lay the cards out. It's played in 3 chapters. You lay the cards out like this. You have only a certain amount of money to spend. You spend the money to take actions. The actions can be moving, giving cards to another player, and moving would be moving on this rondelle here to take an action like play cards or move or give cards or draw cards. So you've got a finite amount of money. You're spending the money to do things. There are certain actions and certain cards that can get you money back, so that you don't run out of what you can do. You run out of money, you lose the game. But you play through 3 chapters and it's basically set collection in some ways. Each one of these little cards here has things that need to be fulfilled on it. Cards that have wreaths or hearts for compassion or charity, like a bag of money for charity. So you are collecting the ones that you need to play onto those cards that need specific things. Yeah, we got into real trouble in the first chapter because you know that first shuffle with a new deck is always going to be a little wonky, even though you say, I shuffled it really well. And it's like, I shuffle and I shuffle, but still, the first time with a new deck tends to be a little wonky in the distribution. And as it turned out, we needed a lot of wreath cards, I believe. I think it was wreath for chapter 1. Whatever it was, we needed the most of for chapter 1. We spent some of them for movement at the beginning of the game to get us to the cards that we needed to play the cards down, because we thought, well, there's more in the deck, right? And we'll draw more and then we'll play them down. Yeah, the way the distribution worked out, most of the ones that we needed for that first chapter were toward the end of the deck. So it's like, it got a little dicey there for a bit before we got down to the point where we got the cards we needed to do the first chapter. And then we went on to the second chapter and the third. If you make it all the way through the 3 chapters, you win. And there are variations on this, which will make it harder and have like different ways of doing things, which we have not gotten into. We've only just barely scratched the surface with this one, but we are enjoying it a lot. And it is unique in the sense that it is a co-op game that is Christmas themed, and they have excerpts from A Christmas Carol, and the instructions specifically say to read some of these cards aloud. So real Christmas spirity kind of thing for spirits of Christmas. So let's see. I talked about ugly Christmas sweaters. This is set collection. You are putting together sweaters. See, most of you have heard of this game because this game turns up pretty regularly on other board gamers' list of Christmas games. I mostly just wanted to let y'all know that it is out there, new, available. Still, okie dokie. And another new-ish thing. Oh, yeah. Well, first this one. Another newish thing we got an expansion for Holiday Movie Magic, which adds more players because the player count with just the base deck is 4. And you play cards down as you're watching Christmas movies when you spot something that's on the card in the movies. And you can only have 3 cards in your hand at a time. So you got to make a decision. Do I hold on to this card that I know is surely coming up somewhere in this movie? Or do I discard it to a general discard pile that you or anyone else can grab from later if it comes up? Or do I hang on to it, or do I discard it and draw something that I might be able to score off of, really quick, because the cards are points. The more cards you can play, the more points you get. So, yeah, this is a fun game, particularly with a group of people watching Christmas movies, and especially Christmas movies that you're really familiar with. It gives you like a little extra added something while you're watching a movie that you think you know by heart. But by golly, there is not going to be a snowman sitting outside that house like you remember. I mean, that's the thing that gets me about this when we play it with movies we think we know, is that I'll have a specific memory of something in this movie. It's like I know there was tinsel on that tree, and there's no tinsel. I know there was a snowman in that yard. There's no snowman. Her coat was red. No, it was black. It's like so yeah, you might think, oh, this is going to be too easy. But that card management about whether or not you hold on to the card for something you're pretty sure is coming up, or discard it and hope to be able to call out the thing and grab it later in the game when it does come up, or get more cards. It's an interesting little thing. It's a lot of fun to play. And the expansion makes it much better because you've got new cards, you got another new category, and you can play more people, which you really need to do for that. I mentioned Spirits of Christmas. Well, another Ghost of Christmas kind of theme. This is a trick-taking game from All Play, Ghost of Christmas. I have watched the How to Play video on this so very much, and I have not played it because it has a minimum of 3 players, and I just cannot seem to wrangle up enough people. It's like a 3 to 4 player game. I can't seem to get the right people who like and know how to play trick-taking games to play this with me around Christmas time. But I've got it in the collection because hope springs eternal. It is the season of hope. And let me see. Oh, yes, another new game. Santa's Workshop 2nd edition. Which I think the 2nd edition may have been released last year. I'm not absolutely sure, but 2nd edition. This is a worker placement Christmas game. You are making toys. You're placing your workers out to get stuff to put on your cards to fulfill what the cards, which are toys, it's Santa's workshop after all, to fulfill the toys, make the cards, and from those you get the points. Although I think there are some things that are actually on the board that get you points too, yes. There are a bunch of different variations on this. We played it at the most basic last weekend because this was our first playthrough, and we played it twice back to back because this thing goes fast with 2 players. It probably would take a little longer with, say, 4, but not that bad. And here's the thing, you're going like, well, my family has no idea what worker placement means. Not a problem. This is probably the single most entry-level worker placement game ever. So this is definitely gateway. It is definitely gateway and family weight. If you want to have your family understand what worker placement in a board game means, and you're saying like, This will open the door to all these other games. This is the game that you start them with. Sit them down at the table and you can teach this to them in just minutes. It is a fast, easy teach. And after that, when you say worker placement, they'll know exactly what you mean and they're probably going to want to play. So this is so very, very much fun. We enjoyed the heck out of it. This has kind of zoomed to the top of our Christmas favorites this year. Even ahead of Spirits of Christmas, those Spirits of Christmas, it's like it's in its own category because it's co-op. And it's like, and that kind of helps because I'm going like, oh God, it's like I can't think. But I've got another person thinking with me. These are not 2-player only games, though our primary player count is 2. Ugly Christmas Sweaters plays up to 4. Ghost of Christmas plays 4. Christmas Movie Magic plays 4, more with the expansion. I think that may take it up to 6. Spirits of Christmas plays up to 6. Am I holding this up right? Yeah, Spirits of Christmas plays up to 6. So yeah, that gives you a lot more options, and these are all family weight games. Somewhere out there, maybe someone has at some point in history made a Christmas themed heavy Euro, but if they have, I've not heard about it. I'm not like a super board game expert, so if you know of a heavy Euro that has a Christmas or holiday theme, put it into comments because I'd just be really interested to know if somebody did that, because Christmas games are so niche, and to some extent you want to widen your audience for a game when you're making a board game rather than make it more narrow. It's like heavy Euro and Christmas themed, narrower and narrower. So let me know if you know of anything that's actually honest to goodness heavy that's a Christmas game, because these are going to be family weight, gateway kind of games. I mentioned player count. Patchwork is a 2-player game. There's like, I don't know, I've lost count of how many different themes of Patchwork there is. You can get a Patchwork that's just about any theme you can think of at this point. Certainly they've covered all the holidays. But here's the interesting thing about Christmas, and this is just us. It's not anything about the game. It's just us. We have a much poorer record playing the Christmas themed game. We've got the Valentine's themed game. That's just like our baseline anytime we want to grab the theme, because the theme is like a box of chocolates, and chocolate, that's not seasonal. You can have chocolate anytime. So the one that's Valentine's themed is just like our idea of a regular base game Patchwork. And we also have Halloween, which has the tiles in the game because it is a polyomino tile laying game. It has the tiles rebalanced. So you would think maybe the Halloween game, our scores would be a bit different. But no, Halloween and Valentine's scores and win-loss, all that kind of stuff seems to be about right. But you look at the points that we post when we play Christmas Patchwork, and Robert and I both post our lowest scores when we play Christmas Patchwork. And this game is basically the same game as Valentine's Patchwork, and we have across the board the same number of plays with Valentine's, Halloween, and Christmas. But Christmas, consistently, we score lower. I mean, our boards are just a hot mess. Actually, maybe a cold mess, considering the season. But in this one, I think it might not necessarily be terribly Christmas themed. It's presents. Everything, it looks like presents, and the buttons are golden like coins, but they still look like buttons like in the regular Patchwork game, because originally this was themed as quilts. And the bonus, the Christmas version, look for this. I don't know if they still do this because ours is a few years old. You get a polyomino, a Christmas cookie cutter in the box with the Christmas Patchwork, which is another thing that makes it fun. And let me see, I'm just going down here. Yakbak the Winter Market is a game we got last year. This is another game that family weight, but also has a huge amount of replayability. It's not going to be the same like twice in a row unless you want it to be. because you have different sets of cards and you choose the sets of cards that you're going to play with and that you're going to line up around the board. And that will affect how you score, what sort of things that you do. So there's going to be tiny little strategic shifts. You can't just say, well, strategically, I always grab all of this kind of card, because that kind of card might not actually be in the sets that you're playing with every time. So it's a really interesting game. It is very, very colorful. I consider this to be kind of marginally a holiday game because it's got that whole Nordic Christmas winter market thing, that Christmas market thing going, but at the same time, because it is a winter market, we keep playing this through January. And we also keep playing the winter edition of Carcassonne through January, which I did not pull up here because it is basically just winter. There's nothing kind of sideways or slipped in under the edges that's kind of Christmassy about it, like Ticket to Ride Nordic countries. The only thing that makes this holiday themed is, well, actually, I guess the little figure here is kind of elf-like. Kind of. I mean, assuming that this is a short person rather than a very tall person. But generally speaking, this is not super Christmas themed. On the back of the destination cards, it says something like Santa Holiday Tour 1910. Or no, not Santa, Father Christmas Holiday Tour 1910. So that is the only Christmas element on the back side of the cards that you're getting to fulfill the destination. But yeah, go ahead, call it a Christmas game. Even though we're going to play it year-round, we do play it year-round. We've been playing it year-round. Yeah, and see, those are reindeer. Turning it around, yeah. Reindeer, elf, baby, and Father Christmas on the back of some of the cards. But that is most of the games. Now we're getting into some of the ones that's like, maybe these are honorable mentions. Let's see, I did that, and that. Two more games that we got from Jen and Jayne. Hi, Jen. Hi, Jane. Thank you. Are Catching Jack Frost, which is a deadbolt mystery, which they had played and passed on to us. This is a good, if you know somebody who has never played a deadbolt mystery, either their mini games, which come in envelopes, or the boxed games, Catching Jack Frost is one of the boxed games, would be passing them on if you don't write all over them when you're doing them, is a good way to get somebody hooked on the deadbolt mysteries. They sent us that. They also sent us, it's somewhere around here, and I don't think I put it in the pile. The little Kringle, Holiday Hijinks Kringle Caper, which is a little 18-card escape room game. They have, Holiday Hijinks makes them themed for pretty much any holiday you can think of. But they also sent us that, and I'm looking forward to getting into that. You know, I'd seen those around and heard people mention them for various holidays, and I don't know why. I guess maybe they just like flashed a picture up on the screen rather than holding it in their tiny little hands or something, because it's small, because it's an 18-card game. And it's like when I opened up the box and started taking the games out, I saw this and I'm going like, whoa, that is small. Because it's basically, the box is the size of 18 cards. Let's see, I have Patrick Christmas, and that. Okay, now we're going to get into the honorable mentions, which I don't have out here. Y'all know that we like playing Welcome To, and we have, expansions for Welcome To, which is a flip and write game. If you like Welcome To, there is an expansion which is a Holiday Lights or Winter Wonderland, something like that, named Holiday Expansion, in which you have a different set of cards for your third building plan cards, and you circle Holiday Lights. It's a different set of boards. It's like all Christmassy looking. The collector's edition, which I have, includes all of the expansions. So yeah, it includes that one too. And I like the idea. I wish more games would do this, that basically they would come up with an expansion that's just basically Christmas. it's got like a new Christmas deck of cards, maybe a little bit extra different in the gameplay, such as they do with Welcome To. But there aren't a lot of games that do that. I will say, though, we will have another one next year because Tenpenny Parks did a Kickstarter in which they did like a big box thing where you can put all your stuff in one box, but also 2 expansions, which are holiday expansions. I think there was a 3rd expansion, yeah. But there were 2 holiday expansions, a Halloween expansion and a Christmas expansion for that. So I'm going to be looking forward to playing those next year. Walking in Burano is one I mention every year. It is not a Christmas themed game, but there is a Santa card. It is in the base game box, and the base game box comes with like a little mini expansion of other cards that you can put into the mix. And the cards in this case are scoring cards rather than the house cards. You're like lining up little houses to get cards that have houses top, middle, and bottom in order to get certain features on those houses, either scoring according to a certain lineup of the houses or the whole street. And those scoring criteria are on the cards. And so you can swap the cards around when you play the game so that you'll be playing for different scoring criteria each time you play. And the mini expansion has cards that you swap in. Santa is in the base set of cards, but not as a visitor. The cards are divided up into like visitors or tourists and inhabitants or residents. Santa is a resident of Burano, Italy, apparently, which I just thought was strange since the game actually has like 2 different types of scoring cards, residents and visitors. So yeah, and of course Santa scores for the chimneys on the houses. But I do think that was really odd, and I mention that every year, that Santa was not put in the deck of visitor or tourist cards, but someone who comes periodically to the city, but was in the stack of resident scoring cards. But we don't play with Santa during the year, but when it gets into the fall and we start pulling out games that are more Christmas themed, yeah, Santa goes into the mix then. But he does not always get scored, because if I don't have a lot of chimneys, I'm not choosing the Santa scoring card. Another one that I don't have out here, which is an honorable mention, technically this is kind of considered an expansion, and that is Final Girl. I'm not really into Final Girl. I'm terrible at it for one thing, but I do find that the flow of the game is strangely compelling. The flow of the game is really good. It is super smooth, and you can just get sucked into it. I have, whatever the Happy Camper one is, which I usually sometimes maybe play during spooky season. And then last year I got the Final Girl North Pole Nightmare. And this is definitely worth a mention if you have played Final Girl and enjoy it, is if you get the North Pole Nightmare add-on to the base game, because you have to have the base game box. And then you get the Happy Camper or the Final or the Nightmare or whatever. But you always have to have a base game box, which is why this is an expansion. But the thing is, Mrs. Claus has extra health. And even with, what I mean by extra health is all of the heroes have a maximum amount of health they have. It's like if they get knocked down, then you can do stuff in the game that will build them back up, but they can never exceed their max level. So if you've got a hero that has a kind of mediocre health, they're not going to do as well as somebody whose starting health and baseline health is somewhat higher. But there's always that cap. Except with Mrs. Claus. Mrs. Claus, once she's gotten knocked down, you can fill her health up above her cap, above her limit, which means theoretically Mrs. Claus ought to be impossible to kill. And yet, she did not do well last year. I'm just bad at Final Girl, okay? If you're like a whiz kid at board games in general, and maybe Final Girl in particular, then you can just have Mrs. Claus kick butt from here all the way to the North Pole, but I couldn't do it. I don't know. I may pull it out at some time this year and give it another shot. There is a flip side, a second, is it? No, it's not the flip side, but there are 2 hero cards in each box. The other one is an elf, and I do not remember the elf's special abilities because I was just so intrigued about the fact that I could just keep boosting Mrs. Claus for all the good it did me. And the final game I want to mention, I don't know if this should be on my list of Christmas games or an honorable mention because it is not actually a Christmas game. But when I saw it and I saw how to play on it, I thought, oh, I need to get this to play with the family around Christmas time. And I haven't actually done that yet. It does not play with 2 players. It needs a minimum of 3 to 6 players, and that is Cover Your Cookies. And this is a Grandpa Beck game, and it is in the same line. He has there's like a whole bunch, I say he, they, it's probably more appropriate because board game publishers are usually a group of people. They have a bunch of games in this line. Cover Your Kingdom, Cover Your Assets, Cover Your, I don't know. They have a whole bunch of Cover Your, maybe I didn't even say those 2 right, but there's like a whole bunch of games that are in this line. Each one of them plays a little bit differently. This one, the cards are all Christmas. They're all cookies. They're all like cute decorative cookies. And those are the cards that you're playing with. And the game is really, really easy to play. I watched the how to play video on it, and it just looked like it was so much fun. And let's see, we have got a lime madeleine, purple macaron. We've got gingerbread grandpa, chocolate milk, which is a wild card. There's regular milk too, chocolate chip. Apparently there's some kind of a debate as to whether or not chocolate chip cookies are actually legit Christmas cookies or if they're just like not supposed to be put on the Christmas plate. I'm never going to turn down a chocolate chip cookie. You will not see me turning up my nose at one. Linzer cookies, lemon squares. Oh, yes, here's the regular milk. But yeah, there's just like a whole bunch of different cookie cards. Ooh, chocolate crinkle cookies. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of different cookie cards and other cards that do things, and you can, there is a little bit of take that and a little bit of messing. I'm not sure if it's actually take that or if it's just messing with other players just a little bit, but it's all in good fun. This is not like the Christmas morning game of Monopoly that you play with your family when you were a kid. No. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. And the cookie theme definitely makes it one that I want to play at Christmas time. Because our primary player count is 2, it may not get a huge amount of play throughout the rest of the year, but I thought I would mention this to you because I know some of you watching this are familiar with Grandpa Beck's games, and some of you are familiar with this whole Cover Your Something or Other's line of those games, and you like fun little holiday card games. So yeah, 3 to 6 players, that's good for a family. It's easy to play, easy to learn, easy to teach. It's got Christmas cookies, so this is the game that you play with your family when you've got plates of Christmas cookies sitting all around you. So that's kind of on my Christmas list, kind of on the honorable mentions, kind of straddling the line there. My elf hat is coming off. This is actually an elf hat. The pattern is mountain elf, I think. I made it several years ago. But I have now covered all of the cookies, and we have not been drowned out by the sounds of construction yet. So I hope y'all have a wonderful holiday season, whatever holiday you celebrate. And that's Esme. She's saying Merry Christmas too. And I will see y'all next time, probably with an end of year video, which I'm either going to do right around the end of this year or right at the beginning of next year. Kind of depends on how things shake out. But I'll see y'all next time around the table. Bye. Oh, I forgot to say, wait, my tea. Tea today is Scottish breakfast. Yum. Bye.